Hello everyone, welcome to Jennifer Sewing and Creativity. If it's your first time joining my channel, welcome. If you are a previous subscriber or you are coming from a previous video on my channel, welcome back. So in the previous video I talked about the selection menu on the Pfaff Creative 4.0. Today we're going to go over the machine settings, and that is this menu here. So in the settings menu, you can override automatic settings and make manual adjustments to the machine settings. So so down here you have your sounds, your machine settings. Then this little one, this little microphone, is your sounds. So in your sounds, you're able to, for your icon acknowledge, you can set it to whatever beep you want. To your button icon disabled, you can set it. To your warning and your attention, you can set it. And then to embroidery finished, you can set it also. And this one does an audio repeat. And then your next one is going to be your screen settings. So you can do English, you can calibrate your machine, you can do a screensaver. So if you're not here, or if you're doing something else, you can hit screensaver and that screensaver will pop up. And then you can do a lock screen. You can lock it so you can't do anything, you can't touch anything. So I don't do the lock screen. And to calibrate is you're just going to calibrate your machine. And I don't know if I want to hit that. So we're just going to leave that alone. Okay. So let's go back to our first option. And you've got your owner's name. And you're going to hit that. And I just have my initial and my last name on there. I can delete that, and I can put, let's just put JS, and we'll just, and capital. So for Jennifer Sewing and Creativity, we'll put that on there, and you just OK. And that way, if you were to take it anywhere, you can, you've got your owner's name in there. Then your next option is your twin needle. You'll turn that on or off if you are going to be using a twin needle. So you touch that icon to open the list for twin needle width and selections. And let me show you what that does. And that comes up with your sizes for your twin needles. So if you, of course you've bought a machine before because you're watching videos on machines. So you have your off option, and your twin needles will come in sizes. And let's see if I can grab one over here. And so commonly when you get your machines, you're going to have your twin needle package like this. And let me open this one up. This says that it is a size 211, and I am guessing that I would set it to the 2. So that is what that looks like. And I'm gonna, I don't see anywhere else where it says any size information on it. I guess it's just the color coding maybe. I tried looking on the shaft part, this portion of the needle. Like most sewing machine needles will have the size here, and this one does not. Maybe there's like a fine, it's really hard to see maybe right there. Oh, my stomach is growling. I am hungry. I've not eaten anything yet today. Okay, so the packages say that that is a size 211. These do not have sizes on them, so I'm going to open one up and see if it is the same. My stomach's really growling. I have not eaten anything yet today. Okay, so this one is a different size also. So look at the way they are. So I'm not really sure what size these ones are. I may have to look in my manuals. They could be the same, but definitely different there. Let's go ahead and close those back up. And so this menu, though, is going to show you what your, so I guess for this 211 needle, I would be doing hitting the 2. But since I am not doing that, we're just going to go ahead and turn that back off. So off. So definitely, if you are going to be sewing with twin needles, though, remember to come in to your settings menu and turn on the twin needle option. I don't believe the machine will sew unless that is turned on. And it's not going to give you the options, I believe, to do the double threading for the twin needle also. So there's that. I'll put that back over here. Okay, and then your next option is your stitch with safety, which this is here. And your stitch with function, you select this function when using a straight stitch, stitch plate, or a straight stitch presser foot to lock the center needle position for all stitches to prevent damage to the needle. So your presser foot or your switch plate. So if you're using, let's see, okay, like a sewing foot like this. I just bought this sewing foot. This is a 1/4 inch quilting foot with the guide on it. You can see my little guide right there. So you would set that right there. That way you can't change your stitch width. You can see that, I don't know what that was. I think there may be a fire truck or an ambulance or something out on the street. I don't know what that horn was. That was weird. Okay, so there's that. And I was saying that you select that function when using a straight stitch, stitch plate, or a straight stitch presser foot to lock the center needle position for all stitches to prevent damage to the needle, the presser foot, or the stitch plate. When turning on the machine, with this setting activated, and for every stitch selection that is not a straight stitch, a pop-up will inform you that it is set to do a straight stitch. You deselect this straight stitch option, deselect the stitch with safety to go back to normal sewing, and that'll let you do your zigzags and things like that. So if I'm doing my my sewing for my quilting and I want it to be straight stitch only and I want that locked, I would select that and that would turn that on, and I'd only be able to do that straight stitch only. Which that's kind of good, because you've seen me, if you've seen any of the previous videos, you can accidentally hit something and it changes stuff. So that would be a really good option there. Since I will be doing some embroidery later today, I will be turning that back off. Okay. Okay. So then you have a autosave current state, which is this option here. And when autosave current state is selected, the machine will save current state periodically while embroidering and also when you stop embroidering. So the information about the embroidery will be saved even after switching off your machine. And there is a little note in the manual that says if your autosave current state is selected, it can take longer to go from an embroidery edit to an embroidery stitch out, and you may need to defragment your machine more often. and you have a defragment machine memory here, and that just clears your machine of any memory. And even with like laptops or home computers, sometimes you will do a defrag, and that kind of cleans up the hard drive, the memory of the laptop or the computer. It's doing the same thing for your machine. It's cleaning up your memory and getting rid of any trash files or anything like that that are saved in the machine that you don't need. Okay, so then your next one, you're going to have a cut jump stitches, and that one is, I do not have that on my machine. I am not sure why that is not right there. It says your machine features an automatic function, cut jump stitches. This function saves you time trimming after embroidery is complete. When cut jump stitches is selected, your machine will trim the top jump stitch thread and pull the thread end to the underside of the fabric as you embroider. And I think that is only going to be on the menu when you have your embroidery unit plugged in. And I will show you what that looks like. So that's going to be this little option, cut jump stitches, and that will only be on there when you have your embroidery unit plugged in. Okay. And it says, there's a little note there, and it says your machine will also cut the thread after you have changed to a new color. Hold the thread end when you start embroidery again so that you can easily remove the thread end when cut. Designs marked with a cut jump stitch trim command are programmed for a cut jump stitches. Jump stitches trim commands can be added to any design using a 4D organizer software, and that software is what comes with the machine. When I did set my machine up for my first time use, it tells you to plug in your laptop, your computer, whatever, and to install that software on your machine, because this machine also lets you hook up to your computer. There's a USB port over here onto the side, and it lets you connect to your computer or your laptop. Okay, so then you have a timer here, and this displays the total sewing and embroidery time on your machine. You touch this icon to reset the timer. And since I've had it, I've already put 16 hours and 25 minutes on this machine. And that is doing, just trying to learn it, doing some embroidery. I did some bookmarks, things like that. So that will time everything there. And then you've got your automatic thread snips. And up there's the cut jump stitches. So it's a little bit different in the manual. It showed it down here, but mine is up here. So I have it set to cut my jump stitches because I don't like cutting jump stitches. So I don't like taking the time to do it. So that's going to let me cut them automatically. Then, okay, so your timer, your automatic thread snips. When selected, the automatic thread snips is activated. The threads are cut automatically and the presser foot raises at color changes or when an embroidery is finished. When deselected, no automatic thread snips will be performed. So I have it plugged, I have it selected, so it will cut and I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Then your automatic presser foot lift. When that one is selected, the automatic presser foot lifts. The lift is activated and the presser foot will raise to pivot height. For example, when stopping to sew with the needle in the down position. Okay, so if you are sewing and say you're doing like a quilt or you're doing your binding or something like that, and you need to just rotate something, it's just going to lift. It'll raise to your pivot height, and then it will lower back down when you start sewing again. So when deselected, the presser foot will stay lowered even if the machine stops with the needle in the down position. Okay? So it's going to automatically do the presser foot lift since I have that selected. Okay? And then your defrag is here, your defragment, your machine memory. That's going to optimize the sewing and embroidery performance. You sometimes need to do a defrag. When that needs to be done, a pop-up message will appear on screen. To defrag your machine, you're first going to remove any unnecessary files when you go to the machine settings in the settings menu, and you're going to select defrag your machine memory. And it does say that a defrag can take up to 45 minutes. Okay, and let me see if we have anything else on another page. And okay, yes we do. Okay, so these little ones down here, it has a Sensormatic free motion. I do not have that option on here, and let's see what that is. So this is to activate the machine in Sensormatic free motion mode for presser foot 6A. The feed dogs will lower automatically, and I don't know why I don't have that option on here. At a higher, it says when sewing free motion at a low speed, the presser foot will raise and lower with each stitch to hold the fabric on the stitch plate while the stitch is being formed. At a higher speed, the presser foot floats over the fabric while sewing. The fabric must be moved manually. Okay? So skip stitches can occur if your fabric moves up and down with the needle as you are stitching. Lower the presser foot height will reduce the space between the presser foot and the fabric and eliminate any skipped stitches. Okay? And it says, be careful not to reduce the presser foot height too much. The fabric will move freely under the presser foot. Okay? And then you have a spring foot free motion. I do not have that. I'm not sure how to do that yet. So I don't know why that's not showing up on my settings. Maybe there's something else that you have to go into to activate that before it comes up on the screen. And to activate your spring foot free motion, there would be another option here that you can select, and I don't have that, but that is to activate the set the machine in spring foot free motion mode, and the feed dogs will lower automatically. So I don't have that. And then we have your presser foot pressure, which is this one. And in most cases, you do not need to adjust the presser foot pressure. Specialty techniques may require an adjustment. The higher the number, the more pressure on the fabric. So you have, you notice that it changes in color. Well, it didn't show up on screen, I don't believe, but when I hit it, it changes from black to red. So the it's already preset at 6.5. When I hit it, it turns to red. So then you have your presser foot height for embroidery, which is this one here. And the presser foot height for embroidery is you adjust the height of the presser foot in embroidery stitch out mode. Some embroideries may build up under the presser foot. If there's not enough space between the presser foot and the embroidery, the top thread will form loops. And let me show you what that means. When I was learning the machine, I did that because I was trying to do a stitch out on a 4x4 quilt block, and it was not turning out. You can see where the threads are kind of coming out here. There's some loops forming. This did some skip stitches. This completely, I don't know what it did here. So you can see all that. And this is what it did on the back. massive thread nests. And what that says is that how some embroideries may build up under the presser foot. If there's not enough space between the presser foot and the embroidery, the top thread will form loops on the underside of the embroidery. Increase the presser foot height in small steps until the embroidery moves freely under the presser foot. Okay. And mine is set just at 0, so it seems to work fine there right now with what I've been doing with my embroidering of bookmarks. And we went over the sound settings. That was here. And your sound settings you can change. You can just hit each one. So your button icon disabled, you can do off, ding dong, beep. And then with your warning and attention, you can do a gong, ding dong, or beep. So I kind of like the gong, that's your warning. Then you have an embroidery finish. You can do a gong, ding dong, or a beep too. And that is those. And then your audio repeat, which was, I selected that. When active, the signal for some warning or attention pops up is repeated in intervals until it is canceled. Okay. And then your volume, you can change the volume using the slider. And I have it all the way up as loud as it will go right here. So. And there we go. And then you have some more screen settings. Here on the last one, you have your language. You have your calibrate. So when touching the icons on the screen might need to calibration to adjust your touch. Touch the calibrate icon to open a special screen for the Pfaff HD screen calibration, and you follow the instructions on the screen to calibrate it. And that's interesting to know. So that's to adjust your touch, and that's going to let you. Let's go ahead and hit that. Touch the center of each crosshair appearing on the screen. Use the stylus to get an exact calibration. So you're going to touch. Then we're going to touch. Then we're going to touch. Okay, so that calibrated my touch. For my pressure that I apply, I guess, to the screen. And then your lock screen. If needed, you can easily lock the screen while sewing or embroidering. When activated, the screen is locked every time it is inactive for 10 seconds. The screen will be locked until you unlock it by touching OK. And then you have your screen saver, which when activated, the screen turns off 10 minutes after the last touch. Touch the screen or press any button to light the screen up again. Okay. And then you have, let's go back to then we have your information menu, which is, oops, let's go back. Information is this one. It looks like the little eye and the at the bottom of the screen. And when you touch the info button icon on the taskbar, you have two options to select from: personal info and notes. So here, so you have personal info, and I don't know why it's, so it says that personal info contains the owner's name, machine, software information, and serial number. And B is you're supposed to be able to touch this down here. And that does not do nothing. Okay, so maybe it, It did not do nothing for me. It does not let me touch, do any notes. I do not know why that does not come up for me. So for some reason, maybe this model does not let me do that. I'm not sure. And then you have your quick help, which is your little question mark down here at the bottom right. It says your machine has a built-in quick help, which gives you instant information about everything you see on screens. Touch the quick help icon on the lower right corner of the screen. It starts flashing and indicates that a quick help is active. Touch the icon or the part of the screen you want information about, and a pop-up gives you a short explanation. Touch OK to close the pop-up and exit your quick help. And then when a USB mouse is connected, it is even easier to use the build-up or the built-in in quick help. Place the cursor over the icon and you can right-click on the mouse and quick help will pop up instantly. I did not know that, so that's new. I can connect a mouse to the machine, so that's interesting. And I think we are at a stopping point for that so far. So, yes. Okay, so I showed you all your settings menu. We have gone over your... Let's get rid of this. Delete that. Okay, so we have I do not know how to get back out of this menu. There we go. I'm going to go back to sewing. Go back to our main. I'm not sure how to clear this. We will do that in a little bit later. But we have gone over everything on what your machine will do. Our next video, we are going to go start doing our sewing modes. So I will show you how to do your stitch, your presser feet, things like that. And I'm not sure why that's not going back to the main menu. There we go. Probably just because the stitch that I had selected on there. So that is what that looks like. And we're going to go over start a sewing mode overview, how you select stitches, how you sewing recommendations, your raise your lower presser foot, and that will be in the next video. So that will probably be a really short video on the next one. And please stay tuned for that. If you have not subscribed already, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and we will see you all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.